Welcome, and thank you for watching another installment of Coach Yahweh's Tweets Expounded. I'm Robert Yahweh, your financial literacy coach. We all grow up a lot of times assuming that we're very good at something. I've almost thought of myself as being well versed in the English language. But over the past couple of years, as my children have grown and become very good at the English language, they have tended to like to have this idea of always correcting my pronunciations and the rest. And also their appreciation of language is much deeper than mine was when I was their age. But I like the idea that they're actually willing to take the chance to correct me when they believe that I'm not pronouncing something correctly. Many of us have grown up using certain words interchangeably. And a lot of it could be because, especially those of us of African origin, English might not have been our first language. We must have started off with one of the vernacular languages, then maybe a more common language like something we call Kiswahili, before later picking up English. It must have been when you people were 4 or 5 years old. So that tendency, that seems to happen a lot. And more recently, I've been reading a book and that statement was made that spontaneity isn't randomly. My initial reaction was that the author was not being truthful. So I went and I sat down and I looked at the two words, and it is shocking how different those two words are, what they exactly mean or they say. So when I read it, it says that, so when I looked at the definitions, spontaneous is doing something without actually being conscious of it, or something natural. Whereas randomly is doing something which has no clear aim or objective. So you can imagine when you say that you've been doing something randomly or spontaneously. So the two words are very critical, especially when you're looking at becoming financially independent. Does the need to make a decision that adds value towards or works towards your objective of financial independence happen naturally? Or do you do things randomly here and there? In that every time you buy something, do you think about the price? Do you think about if something has changed? Do you think about that item vis-a-vis the next size? That would now become spontaneous if you always do it. But is it random that when you're broke is when you actually look at the price tags, and when you have more cash, you don't look at the price tags, so that becomes randomly? Many of us choose our meals subconsciously, or like we say here, spontaneously, more to keep your weight in check or those kind of things. But a number of us also tend to go into diets in a random fashion. There's no clear objective why you're dieting, but maybe your friend is doing it, so you do it. When your friend stops, you stop. So we need to be very careful about the use of words and understanding their true meaning. The process of becoming financially independent must be a spontaneous act at all times and not a random reaction. Thank you very much for watching another installment of Coach Yahweh's Tweets Expounded. I'm Robert Yahweh, your financial literacy coach.